Imagine a bounty hunter so vicious. He once wiped out half a universe just for fun, and now he's headed straight for Earth. Want to know why? Stick with me because Lobo is about to wreck your expectations.
Comics and powered by the Red 5 Network. For more, visit red5.bio.link.
Hey, what is up, Nerdling Army? How you doing? First breakdown of 2026. Here we are, and we are diving in to the main man himself, Lobo. So do me a solid, guys. Don't be a fragging poozer. Hit that like button, subscribe if you are new, and ring the notification bell so you get notified whenever I'm back with even more of this nerdy nonsense. Now, for those of you nerds who are new to comics, and my name is Danny Sansasi, and while I'm breaking down our favorite nerdy classics, I do my makeup at the same time. Now, I'm not going to bore you with the makeup details. If you're interested in the products I'm using, you can find all of those in the description below. I've been kind enough to list and link them for you. But with that said, that's the last I'll mention it. Everything we talk about today will be all about that foul-mouthed, chain-smoking psycho who kind of makes Deadpool look polite, Lobo. And with what's going on in the DCU, Supergirl's coming out next year. Jason Momoa is actually to make his first appearance as our favorite bounty hunter, and I'm pretty excited. So before everyone is suddenly a lifelong fan since they were in diapers and an expert of this juggalo-faced biker, allow me to tell you who he really is. So Lobo actually began as a joke. In 1983, Keith Giffen sketched a cross between Ziggy Stardust and Gem and the Holograms character. He had purple hair and a shiny leotard, and he genuinely looked like Jem's boyfriend tried to join the band, and she was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. No, thank you. The whole point was parody. Ultra-violent heroes were everywhere, like Wolverine and Punisher. And DC was like, sure, here's one that looks ridiculous and talks ridiculous. Keith Giffen and Roger Slifer created this character in 1983, which premiered in this spin-off of the Green Lantern comics called The Omega Men in issue number 3. And didn't really work out as well as they thought. I mean, people didn't really seem to figure out it was a joke. Then the 90s hit, and they gave him leather and chains, a gravelly voice, cursing every single panel, and even Stan Lee was like, I love that dude. Can we get that dude? Like, can we buy him? Can we buy him? So in that early version, the 1983 version, he was a Valorpian. It's a fun word, isn't it? Valorpian. And these were pretty much how Lobo is now, in the sense that they were basically immortal. And back then, the Valorpians reproduced by bleeding. Like, what are those things? Like amoebas. Like if you cut them and they bled, they would split into, like, a new Valorpian would grow. So it seemed like, oh, this is very handy for the continuation of our race, but also, wow, this is really crappy for the continuation of our race, because the birth rate went absolutely nuclear, meaning that feeding them was very difficult. Feeding and housing them was very difficult. They had a severe overpopulation issue. Severe. So greed starts to take over the Valorpians in a very, very big way. And someone decides, I know how to handle this. And they lace their food and water with poison. Later come to find out it was Lobo. So Lobo is contacted by these space fascists known as the Citadel. Anytime in history there's the Citadel, it's never good. And the Citadel wants the Omega Men gone. So they enlist Lobo to get rid of him. But one thing that carries over from this version of Lobo to the main man we know and adore to this day is there's only two things that Lobo is ever really loyal to. One of them is cold hard cash. The other thing we'll get to later. So Lobo blasts aboard their ship, guns hot, tries to kill their Lady Callista, but the Citadel tries to get away with not paying him. Oh no, we don't do that. Again, that is where Lobo's loyalties lie. Money. You made a contract with him. You gave your word. Lobo may be many things, but if he gave his word, he's going to fulfill it. That is consistent across all the comic books. If he says he's going to do something, he's going to do it. However, if you don't follow through with your word, if you don't deliver on the cash you agreed to pay him, he will make you regret that decision almost immediately. When they don't pay, he shrugs, turns around, and then helps the Omegas kill their leader, and then shoots his own partner in the back, just for funsies. After Crisis, everyone pretty much got new looks across the board. Lobo was no exception. And so in 1990, Lobo got a whole new makeover, and his origin got a makeover too. This was done by Alan Grant and Simon Bisley. And we should all, at a moment of thanks to both of them that they did this, because without what they did, we wouldn't have him as we do today. We probably wouldn't have Deadpool. I said what I said. I want you to keep in mind, before we get started into his rebooted origin as we know it today, Lobo is what is known as a gag character. He has a power known as Toon Force or plot armor. What this means is he has an ability to defy the rules, laws, and physics of the universe he exists in. So think of him as kind of like Bugs Bunny, in the sense that he can do all these silly things and not get hurt by the physics and rules of his universe. Squirrel Girl has it. Deadpool has it. Lobo has it. He is a gag character meant to, one, comic relief, levity, but he's also ultra violent, super crude, loves to cuss, drinks, smokes, fornicates rather frequently. Like, he's got kids all over the place, and we'll get to that. But first and foremost, he is not to be taken seriously in the slightest. He is not a serious character at all. Ultra violent, yes. Serious, no. So when he was rebooted in 1990, they made him from a planet called Czarnia. So no longer Valorpian. He's from a planet called Czarnia. And Czarnians were pacifists. Immediately, it's hilarious. Of course, it would be from this planet of pastel shirt wearing pacifists where the emperor of this place has made violence completely illegal. Think the future in Demolition Man. You so much as yell at traffic and you owe the crown a gold coin or something crazy like that. Everything starts off immediately from the second Lobo was born. He came out of his mother and bit all of the fingers off of the nurse's hand. The situation got even worse when he grabs a scalpel and chases the doctor around and basically decorates the floor with the doctor's brains. The nurse who survived was so traumatized by this that she spent the rest of her life in a mental institution. That was the effect that Lobo's birth had on a Czarnian hospital. He grows up, like children do, and decides that the way the other kids dress are for losers, and that he would much prefer to dress in black leather and chains. So that's when he starts doing that. And I want to point out that I feel like he came out of the womb looking like a grown man. Like he grows up, I think he hits like 12 or something, and he looks like he always does from that point on, just jacked, the mustache and all that stuff. Like he just looks like Lobo from that point on. He had his own big wheel with Uzis attached to it. Like he was definitely unique even for his own people, like not just in comics, but for his own people. So then there's the science fair project that, kills his people. He breeds these flying scorpions in his locker and releases them. Did he win the science fair? I don't technically, since everyone else was dead, I would say he probably did. But, that's what happens when you force someone like Lobo to participate in the science fair. They breed flying scorpions in their locker. You got to admit, not only is he this ultra violent biker cursing bounty hunter, but he's pretty smart too. Yeah, he bred those in his locker as a teenager. He was also in a band, and as I'm sure you could imagine, didn't last long because while the drummer is like in the middle of a solo, he shoots him. Like he kills his entire band. Like that's when the band broke up, is he kills the whole band because that's Lobo. But he did hold surgeons at gunpoint and force them to put a micro radio in his brain so that he could listen to cosmic rock zombie radio 24/7. All of the time, constantly, there is screeching guitar playing in his head all of the time. You got to admit, that's a pretty metal thing to do. So by 16, he had killed half the planet of Czarnia. And by 17, he goes ahead and releases his scorpions that are now full size. And the emperor begs him, like, please, violence is against the law. Like, there's your first mistake, trying to reason with Lobo, and especially using that reason. Silly man. And Lobo just kind of grins and says, duh, basically. He's like, I know, exactly. And finishes the job. He lets the full-size flying scorpions kill off the rest of his home planet. And finding that there's literally nothing left to do now because he's killed the whole planet, there's no entertainment left, he leaves. And that's how Lobo first, leaves his home planet. He killed everyone and got bored because there was nothing left to do. So not only is he just pretty much an all-around ultra-violent, rude, crude, tattooed asshole, but wouldn't you know, after all of that, he's also banned entirely from heaven and hell. Both heaven and hell. So even if he didn't have his actual physiological immortality, spiritually, he's immortal. He cannot die at all because no afterlife will accept him. He can lose any body part and grow it back. He can grow a head back and have it still talking shit. He can grow his entire being back from one drop of blood. In fact, he can grow an entire army of clones, and he has, from a drop of blood. And then he had to go and kill all of them. That was a whole thing. When his body is too severely damaged, basically his spirit just wanders around and waits for the body to heal. And sometimes he could even possess other people while he waits. That's worked out well, right? His sense of smell is so powerful that he can smell your fear or track you from across solar systems. Super serious. He has punched Superman, lived to tell about it. He fought Shazam and seriously held his own. Like, really held his own. He has this really cool duffel bag that's kind of like a Mary Poppins bag. It's bottomless. He can put anything in it. That's kind of where that Toon Logic stuff comes into play. He carries rocket launchers in it, anvils, chainsaws longer than city buses. Honestly, it's pretty great. That other thing I said, Cash was the first thing that he is always loyal to, no matter what, is cash money. But the other thing that he is always loyal to, without question, are his pet space dolphins. That's right. Lobo has a soft spot for animals, and none softer for his space dolphins that he feeds giant cans of space tuna to. He refers to these dolphins as his sons. Like, that's how much he truly, truly loves these things. So Manga Khan once offered Lobo a job to kill the Justice League. And Lobo said, okay, but you gotta pay me in dolphin snacks. I want a 10-year supply of dolphin snacks. I'll kill the Justice League, but I want 10 years dolphin snacks. Okay. So ultimately he fails. Like, he obviously does not kill the Justice League, but he still gets the dolphin snacks. So he has had actual children. He's had lots of kids. I mean, the dude bangs all the time. I mean, what more would you expect from the most foul-mouthed partying biker bounty hunter of the universe? Like, seriously, he's immortal. He likes to party. Of course, he likes to get it on too. And he's had a lot of kids, but he's killed them. All of them, except one. He crushed one by accident, and a hug kills the rest. Only Crush has lived. She's kind of new and half demon. And currently, she is a member of Teen Titans. I won't really go into Lobo's daughter Crush because it's a Lobo breakdown. Yeah. Lobo was actually hired by the Easter Bunny to kill Santa Claus. That is a DC canon. He was hired by the Easter Bunny to kill Santa Claus. They had a beef. They had beef. Lobo shows up yelling, "Ho ho, frag!" Drops the fat man with 2 in the chest, because that's what you do if you're Lobo and you're hired by the Easter Bunny to kill Santa Claus. And he keeps the reindeer as pets because, again, soft spot for animals. He even has an English bulldog who's not really an English bulldog. He joins Legion, which is Licensed Extra Governmental Operatives Network. And obviously, that doesn't last long. Again, Lobo, not exactly a team player. He's just not. He's more of a solo Lobo. Which, by the way, if you're curious what his name means, the Czarnians named him after he was born, one who devours your entrails and thoroughly enjoys it. I mean, after what happened after he was born, it absolutely and entirely makes all the sense. All of the sense. Eventually, Lobo parties way too hard, living up to his name, one who devours your entrails and thoroughly enjoys it. And he becomes one of the greatest crossover spoof comics that has ever existed. He becomes Lobocop. They harvest his brain, stick it in a robot torso with all the weapons, I'm sure still blasting metal, and send him to work. And you even get him saying things like "frag all crims." And then the dreaded New 52 happened. Yes, the New 52. So fun! So the New 52 shows up, and they decided that The wonderful, rough, bulky biker with the foul mouth and the bad attitude was not the real Lobo at all. No, we were wrong. The beloved version that we've had this whole time was not the real Lobo. The real Lobo was a guy who wore skinny jeans and probably really super loved oat milk lattes, drank martinis. Nobody liked him. They even had the new skinny jeans emo version of Lobo kill our beloved version of Lobo, which, by the way, is unkillable. But, the new 52 didn't make any sense at all, so why bother explaining it? Fans rioted, to say the least. Not just about Lobo, of course, but with pretty much every single character that was absolutely aborted during the new 52. It was horrible. Then one of the best things to ever happen to DC Comics happened, and that's called Rebirth. Rebirth brought back virtually everyone they had destroyed, and we rejoiced. That includes Lobo. He came back full biker style. In 2024, he returned in his cancellation special where he faked his death so that he could live forever. I mean, that's so Lobo. So, why did he come to Earth? Why? What was the deal with that? He kills off his world. He's destroyed full-on solar systems. What's his beef with Earth? What's he got going on with that? Well, honestly, some dude at a con took a selfie, stole his last cigar, and didn't pay the $20 table fee. That's it. That's why. The dude stole a cigar and didn't pay the $20 table fee. He owes him $20 and a Swisher Sweet. Do not owe Lobo money or steal his cigars. That's basically all you need to know. He has a new comic coming out in March by Scotty Young. But the thing that caught my generation's attention especially were the animated series in the 90s and the early 2000s. We were talking about Superman, the animated series, and Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. Lobo was a huge hit. And for my generation, it was, for a lot of us, our first introduction into the main man, as it made his live action screen debut in shows like Krypton. And of course, now we're going to be seeing him on the big screen this summer in DCU's Supergirl, of course, played by Jason Momoa, who has been waiting a lifetime for a chance to chew up scenery as the intergalactic biker bounty hunter himself. I cannot wait to see it. I really know that this is going to be just epic generational casting at its finest. Will the rest of the movie be the same? One can only guess. One way to find out, and that will be by watching the movie. But now you are fully prepared to see him in all his glory. Now you are officially a Lobo expert. And now for your homework, read The Last Czarnian, Lobo Cop, Russian Lobo, and of course, when March 18th rolls around, do your best to check out Scotty Young's new series on our favorite foul-mouthed anti-hero Lobo. And make sure you protect the dolphins and don't steal any cigars. You don't know. It could be Lobo, like, just waiting for his body to heal. And you just never know. What flavor Lobo are you? What is your favorite version of Lobo? Are you comics Lobo? Are you animation Lobo? Do you like Lobo as Space Dad to crush? Leave it in the comments below, and don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe if you are new, and just destroy that notification bell so you get notified whenever I'm back with even more of this nerdy nonsense. Hey, I got comics coming out too, so check that out as the credits roll. And remember that it's always great to learn new things, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.
Disney and Kathleen Kennedy are gonna get you.